Welcome back to Expresso here on SABC3, your feel-good breakfast show. It is time for The Buzz, and today we're talking about social networking. Now, when we talk about social networking, we immediately think of Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But what we may not realize is that there are so many different social networks out there, beyond just the big ones, that are designed specifically for users in different parts of the world. While Facebook and Twitter are seeing steady growth from African users, Africa has so many of its own social networks made by and for Africans. Today we're going to be looking at some of them, and we have our digital media guru in the house this morning, Darren Sanders. How are you, Darren?
Good, Leanne, how are you?
Good to have you back here with us.
It's always nice to be on the comfy sofa.
It is, with Bob, of course. Bob's very interested in The Buzz.
Bob's very active on social media too.
He is very active, got more followers than me, my goodness. So we're talking about the growth, the significant growth of social media amongst the African continent, rather. Let's talk about that a bit more. How has it been growing?
Well, it's growing a lot because with the advent of and the accessibility of mobile devices and mobile internet, the growth of Africans being able to access the internet and get onto social networks is huge.
Yeah.
There are over 50 million Africans using Facebook at the moment, which compared to sort of Europe and America is not big, but for Africa it's massive.
It's pretty massive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yesterday we asked our fans on our Facebook page if they could guess which African country has the highest users on Facebook. And a lot of them guessed correctly. It's actually Egypt with over 11 million users.
That's right. There's a growth of 9%.
9%.
Yes.
And then there's Nigeria with 6.7 million users, which grew something by like 40% or something crazy. And then South Africa comes in third at 6.5 million users on Facebook.
That's correct. Okay, so apart from the big ones, we have Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got YouTube. There are a few other social media kind of channels that have been started in Africa. Let's talk a bit about those.
Well, that's the thing. So, when we think, exactly as you say, when we think about social networking, we immediately click on Facebook and Twitter. But in Africa, they've created social networks for Africans. So we're just looking at some of them. The one is called African Planet. And what's great about this one is it's like a business. It kind of combines kind of like a Facebook and LinkedIn.
Oh, nice.
So you're able to do a whole bunch of stuff like meet and chat. But at the same time, there's a online African business directory. There's a marketplace, which is great. So you can actually sell your product, that kind of thing. So it's really designed for Africans to kind of connect within the continent and do business within the continent.
All right.
And then there's African Zone.
There's African Zone
African Zone has got very similar sort of features that you'd expect from a social network. So you can chat, their blogs, those sorts of things. But there are two great features about this one. The one is that it actually has a built-in translation functionality. So because the Africans speak so many different languages, and you're getting posts in French and Swahili, etc., you're actually able to translate the posts so you can read what other people are saying, whatever language you speak, which is really cool. And the one thing I really like is the Afrotherapy.
Yes.
So there's a feature on
Afroterminal.
Afrotherapy on Africa Zone, and what's great about that is you're actually able to go and post comments, and it's a bit like Agony Aunt, and you're able to go and post comments anonymously and be like,
it's quite therapeutic
exactly,
as well.
and then people in the community actually post back, so that's quite nice. So
I do like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of, it's got a nice African feel to it. And then the last one we looked at is Afroterminal, as you mentioned. Afroterminal, what's great about this one is it's actually more for sort of expat Africans living in different parts of the world. So you're able to connect, and then based on your location and your interests, it recommends different people. So if you're an African living in Europe, for example, as an expat working, you're able to connect with other people, whether you're a Tanzanian or Ghanaian, and actually meet up with them. So that's great.
Wow, this is phenomenal stuff. Is this available to us as South Africans as well?
Yes, I mean, if you're an African, anyone technically can register, but obviously it's designed specifically for Africans. So go to our Facebook, our website, expressoshow.com, to have a look at all of these. And if you're not sure which one's for you, I think the most important thing is to actually try them out. Like with any social network, the best thing is to really kind of go in, play around, create a profile for yourself, see if it works for you, and have fun. That's the idea.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Darren. So much happening in the world of social media. That is The Buzz this morning. If you are in Africa, if you're watching us right now, there's definitely a lot for you to stay connected with your friends, your family, your community, and of course the greater business world around us as well. Right, Darren?
Absolutely. It's about making the personal connections and the business connections.
Wonderful. The personal connections and the business connections. I like that. Now over to Ewan, and he's going to be catching up with a bit more of what Katlego got up to on his trip to Brazzaville.